Hey man, we're here. This is a Grand Theft Audio, and I'm Jake Belcher. I know you guys have been seeing me behind this board for a long time, but it's time for me to jump on the other side. That's Rus Gutin over there. Hey Russ, wave hi from the... oh my god, he's freaking out. Oh my god, I better get in there. Hey Justin, can you run everything in here? Alright man, so let's get this bitch started. I'll see you guys in about 45 seconds.
Send your body to flight. Everybody got a target tonight. Everybody come along for the ride. All you studs and your duds and your ladies is fly. Grip the moment like you're gripping the earth.
T Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
You're listening to and now watching Grand Theft Audio with Jake Belcher. Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Belcher. Hey there, party people. How y'all doing? This is Jake Belcher. You are watching Grand Theft Audio Radio. Super stoked to be here live in studio on, I guess it's a Wednesday. It's 6 p.m. It's like getting ready for the holiday weekend. I got a big party coming up this weekend I'm super excited about. So, yeah, check me out on Facebook if you want to learn more about it. Also in studio with us today, I can't believe it. You guys know him. He's been on the show The Absolute Very Most. Ladies and gentlemen, Rus Gutin. I want to get him on camera here. Russ, yeah. Hey, Russ.
Thank you. Finally, I am finally back here where I belong on Grand Theft Audio.
So how long ago did you actually move away from LA?
I would say it was about 3 years ago. March 3 years ago. March will be 3 years.
Dude, time goes so fucking fast.
And I had a little boy who was 6 months then, and now he's 4, and now I have a little girl who's a month and a half.
And honestly, like when you announced like the second baby was coming, I didn't even notice that the baby had now come. I mean, like,
yeah, I had sort of. I guess we did like soft announcements,
sure,
or whatever. And a lot of people, I guess, didn't get the jokes that we did, or didn't get the picture, or whatever. Or I was being pretty clear about it.
It's like one of those things. Like the first kid means a lot to a couple. You're like, okay, these people are now out of the game, because like. Right. You have to be an adult and stuff.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, like it definitely was for me. It changed me as a comedian, but it definitely changed my social landscape. I mean, you just become obviously more. You really work. You work for them, bitch.
Sure. You are now like your life is now not your own. Have you found that it's profoundly changed you in that way?
Absolutely. I mean, all the new material I've been doing, post-legal guardian, which we'll talk about, all the material I've been doing about that, because we found out that we were pregnant right after I recorded that. So
oh, really?
What didn't exist when I wrote, developed, and made that. So all the new material has been about that, because I really felt like I had the fucking hang of having the one kid in the one bedroom apartment. But now all of my fear and everything comes from trying to fit a second baby into this one bedroom apartment.
Dude, I don't know, man.
And and the fact, like I was telling you, like my wife and I like sleep on the mattress behind the bookcase. We made like a pseudo room for ourselves because the bedroom is Rocco's. And I think that that's a really cool dynamic, but it does show you that like, and especially being back in Los Angeles and being sort of confronted with all of my adult life leading directly up to when it changed.
Sure.
I'm sort of reminded about like how time was just so open-ended to me, and I could go anywhere.
Yeah, nothing mattered at all. We could stand around on the streets in Hollywood like smoking weed.
Yeah,
and
that's what I've been doing,
and...
by the way, this whole trip. My wife was like, be free for 7 days, be free.
Dude, that is cooler, man.
Like hang out with your friends, chill all night, get home late, sleep till dude. Do what you got to do, because, when you're around the kids, it's just not that way. I mean, they're up, you're up. So,
well, we'll get into it more later, into like how life has changed and stuff. I wanted to always start off at the top of the show with like some kind of news going on in the world.
All right, okay.
And this is my one shot.
I'm just co-hosting today.
You're right, that's correct. And I'm stoked to have you here for. You've really done my show the most. So.
I've done the show the most. I've done it in every place that you've recorded it, whether it be, like I said, a sort of motel sort of thing that looked like a good place to get stabbed on Wednesdays.
Dude, there are so many. Okay, so we're at this previous place on Hollywood Boulevard here in California, and we were basically in a homeless asylum, a place where people could come in and get money and drugs and things that they needed. Like you get people
So
who
kind of like a comedy club.
yeah, yes, very similar, man. But more visible scratch marks on skin. You know, like comedians can afford jackets and be able to, yeah, you know. So
that's a good environment to have really funny existential conversation for hours at a time.
Okay, the best moment it led to, you actually weren't there, but we had a day when Lance Bass from NSYNC was on, and there was a lunatic pissing in the hallway outside, and he had to go get involved with it. He's like, I must watch this man pee and see what drives
I've
him.
always wanted to apologize to you guys about that.
Oh,
it's
it
just
was
I
you?
had to go and
You used to have that big floppy hair, you know.
Well, yeah, and I was just so excited that Lance Bass was there, and I couldn't help it, so I peed. So I'm glad he got something out of it too. I think it's a little weird that he was so intent on watching that, but
It really was, man. But that was a scary place. You've been there, and I'm stoked to have you here. But anyways,
it's
what
great.
I'm leading to is, since you live so far away now, and I can't get you in.
That's right. I live in New Jersey.
I don't get
now.
a chance to do like the big stories and get to the idea of what would Russ think about this.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna throw a subject at me, and I'm gonna tell you what I think about it. I like this because we're co-hosts. That's what we do. We bounce shit off each other. We got a good rapport.
A report.
Oh, is it report?
No, but I like telling people to like pronounce things
I've been
incorrectly.
saying rapport forever, so fuck. Okay, so go.
Okay, here's
Lay it on me.
Okay, man. What do you think the dealio is really going on with Bill Cosby? Do you think that he really did all those terrible things all those years?
Yeah, short answer for sure. Where there's 58 plumes of smoke, there's definitely rape fire. I
like a
believe
new pope.
I believe John F. Kennedy said that. Where there is 48 plumes of smoke, there is a rape fire. It's hard for me. I was saying to the other show that I was on earlier, I was telling them, you know, my story as a comic is I saw Bill Cosby himself on HBO, on the cable or whatever, when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I knew I wanted to be a comedian. So
I bet that's a pretty common thing. Here's why. There didn't used to be so much comedy out there.
Right.
You
A
know?
lot of people say that he was the guy. And then I guess for me, also, you know that I'm a very cripplingly anxious person sometimes, and I'm much more calm now at this point in my life. But the Cosby Show, for a lot of my life, and my wife can attest to this, knew that the Cosby Show has always been sort of a Zen center thing for me. I always was obsessed with watching the show because my house where I grew up was very intense. Every emotion was felt at a volume of 11, and everything was yelling, whether it be affection or anger, everything was yelling. And I love the Huxtable house because no one ever yelled, even when they were angry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah.
There was always the threat of anger, like with the Huxtables or whatever, but there was never the yelling or the anger, right? So
he would just sit back and look at those kids and pop like a bottle of pills in his hand and stare at them.
Or Felicia Rosicki.
Just like oh, that's good parenting at the time, you know?
And so I always found that show so calming, and I always found him to be such a great, you know, persona. And also when I sort of embraced my dad persona and I became a dad, and that became sort of the driving force behind the fear that drove my material, I thought of Bill Cosby and how, wow, this guy set the mold. I want to be kind of like an adult, maybe language Bill Cosby. And at this point in my career, I was getting that. And so I have to say, the whole story is so upsetting because I'm a person who knows pop culture so well. And I know the dark side of things, but I had never even really heard about this. And I'm a guy who knows the dark side of every sort of...
Okay, let's go 2 quick things here. One, you know there's a big scandal with a comic right now who's very famous that is like known for doing some shitty things to like female comics with them on the road. And
yes.
you know who that is, right?
Pretty sure I know what you're talking about.
So like, why are we all still willing to look away on that while it's still fucking happening?
Right.
And now we're all going to like condemn this guy for doing these things 30 years ago.
Well, I think, first of all, I'm a little over these heroes that we end up holding up. It's like there really isn't never another shoe. And I am nervous now to commit to liking anything or anybody sometimes because I don't know what that other shoe's going to be.
Sure.
And I just feel like nothing's fucking clean anymore. Even Bill Cosby, the thing that I thought was this fucking pure source of light, I guess, was for me this Huxtable home that he created. And now that I know this, and especially now having a little girl, and especially hating that a comedian is associated with this and all of that stuff. So I wish I had something funnier to say, but I guess just knee-jerk reaction to it is just absolute disgust and anger because...
I just think that if he wanted to get laid and fuck all these bitches, he probably just could have.
Right.
He probably could have just said, hey, I'm Bill Cosby and I'd like to have sex with you.
But it's so... I mean, the things we're talking about get to a level of dictator... out of control,
Sure.
NBC and CBS paying people off. I mean, the rabbit hole goes so fucking deep on this, and that I want to know. We're holding Bill Cosby's feet to the fire, but what about all the fucking people who have fucking known about this and never fucking said anything?
And he's getting it hard, but this is not the only person in Hollywood that's doing this. There are lots of people, and honestly, man, like I feel bad for these ladies. But, Hollywood, this is fucked up. But the thing that they're really letting down is kids. There's kids getting fucked all across this town, man, and no one's talking about that either. We're all just like, oh, man, this old dude, gave him some pills to some ladies who, were trying to get famous off of being around him. I mean, basically, that's what most of those chicks were there to do.
Well, they were at first. But then he was creating situations where they would think that so he can do that. He's a person.
He had a plan.
He gave in to the allure of the evilness of a situation that was possible. But that's possible. Any man can be lured by the dark side. We'll talk about Star Wars later, right?
Yeah, we will.
But when you embrace and use it, then you become evil.
I'd say that's probably true, man. I think we're going to kick ourselves off to a break right now,
Oh.
but I want to come back and
Okay.
and talk about a couple of other.
All right, you have 4 more.
Yeah, I got
four
4
more to
more.
throw at
Yeah.
me, and I promise I will try to be funny about the other ones.
I'm not worried about that, man. I don't know what's really going on. So, anyways, this is Jake. We're watching Grand Theft Audio, and we'll be back in 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
So enjoy these fun commercial breaks.
I love that Johnny Cash and the dude are there together.
Yeah, man, like the angel and the devil.
Yeah.
I'm Laura Samoza,
I'm Sterling Gardner.
and we are Between the Sheets every Monday here, 3 p.m., TRadioV.com.
T Radio V.
That's right, it's T Radio V, Radio in TV. What is that face?
He wants to see our hands.
That's Radio in TV. Wah, 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 wah.
We're not a couple.
If the fish swam out of the ocean and grew legs and they started walking, and the apes climbed down from the tree.
This is Quick Fix Radio.
Quick Fix Radio.
Yeah. Check it out, y'all. We back in the building. What's going on?
Yes, sir. What it do? We got some super special guests up in the place,
In the
man.
building, we got all 5 live in the building. Bone Thugs in the building.
All
Everybody.
5 live
we
in
here,
the
we
house
up in here.
Tonight, y'all.
Not
What's going
one.
on?
Hey man, I had to come see what this TV radio what this all about. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
We got Game on the line. Game, what's going down, baby?
What up? What up, man?
What's going on? Oh, man, we got EPO
Double
Dillon.
OG.
Who is this on the phone with us?
Yo, what up, man? It's Akon.
Hey, Con in the
Akon.
building. Line, who is this on the line?
Be real.
We got Be Real. Oh, Be Rizzy. Who this we got on the line?
This $5 sign right here.
Ty Dollar Sign in the building. And thanks to all the fans for stopping by.
The Quick Fix with Crazy Bone, right here on T Radio V.
party people. You're back here on Grand Theft Audio Radio. This is Jake Belcher. I'm in studio with
Rus Gutin, your
and
guest co-host today of Grand Theft Audio here on
T Radio V. Did you watch some of those commercials? Like,
yeah,
there's some pretty badass people who come through.
It's
you know?
really cool, and I wrote Gangstapella, so I was freaking out. That was really cool, like Crazy Bone and Be Real and all those characters.
Yeah, Money B and Idi Amin.
Just so cool, so cool.
Super
so
stoked.
I'm looking forward to hopefully when Gangstapella is moving and shaking in the new year again, we're going to be doing some live appearances in New York. So hopefully we'll find ourselves out here, and I will definitely, hopefully, stop by in character on that.
We would definitely have a place here for you to make that work.
Well,
so.
we're in character when we do that, so that would be great.
I can dig it, man. All right, back to our the 4 I get left of news
Okay,
stories.
you got 4 left, motherfucker.
4 left.
Make them good.
Can make them good. Okay, so we know where you basically stand on Cosby. Where are you on? Are you familiar with Cecil the Lion?
Okay. Cecil the Lion, the guy that killed the lion.
I know that you hate cats.
Yes.
You hate cats. Where do you feel about like the?
Yeah, but I don't think Mufasa should get killed in the wild by a dentist.
Still a cat, man.
Yeah,
Still
but
a cat.
yeah, but Simba needs his fucking guidance. He's gonna be the king.
Dude, I'm shocked by this. I can't believe that you've taken a pro feline position in any way.
I know. It's the first time you'll ever hear Rus Gutin be pro feline.
Yeah, you love cats. No, you hate cats. You hate them.
I hate fucking cats.
It's because they don't like
cats.
you.
Well, they don't like me, and they don't like Jews, as I talk about in my special. They worship cats in ancient Egypt. The Jews were enslaved building the pyramids in ancient Egypt. So I believe that when Jew slaves died, their meat was fed to those cats. So I think.
What special were you talking about?
It might be Legal Guardian.
Legal Guardian? What is
the new
that?
hour special from Papa Rus Gutin on Comedy Records on iTunes, and also available as a downloadable movie on VHX.
Well,
so you can download it at rusgutin.vhx.tv.
And it's a dealio. I mean, how much is it?
You could download it for $2.
Yeah, that's
the
pretty
album
good.
is $10, but the movie you could download right to your phone for $2. But the album is very cool.
We
to
should
have
buy them
too.
both. They're for different things, you know.
Yeah, and
One
also
is
Comedy
for, like,
Records is a really cool label. I was really excited to be on it. So
one of them is for watching around a campfire,
right,
and the other is for fucking your lady.
Yeah, the one is that. Yeah, my stand-up is best to be turned on when you're having sex.
Yeah, it helps like potency in the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
Cecil the Lion, man. I mean, what do you really think about that?
I just think that dentist is a cocksucking piece of shit, and I would like to fucking hunt him in his natural fucking environment, whether that be a fucking golf course or where he likes to go play racquetball, and he's just chilling doing his fucking thing. He's
lure him outside with like
Cecil
some
the
beef
fucking
stroganoff,
dentist, and I just take him out with my fucking Jeremy Renner fucking, side fucking bow and arrow, cocksucker. So fuck you. Honestly, it's just such a chicken hawk cocksucker move.
Yeah, it's just a
there
terrible
he is.
story, man.
Honestly, but it's just like, I want to wrap my fucking hands in bandages and then dip it in hot glue and challenge that man to dip it in fucking broken glass like I will and fucking meet me in Mortal fucking Kombat.
I gotta say though, that's a beautiful sign. You are a coward and a killer, and you can read that from far away. Excellent penmanship on that person.
Yeah, honestly, it really is great. It's really excellent. And also,
Good job.
honestly, you just look at him. There's no amount of lions you can kill that will give you a big dick. So that's all I'll say about it.
Well, a lion should give
He
him
has
a
a
big.
tiny, tiny dick, and I have a very respectable medium-sized dick, which has girth and density. Right? It's not maybe the longest.
Density.
Yeah, but it's dense. It's thick. Right?
Okay.
So I'm just telling you that I'm looking at the screen right now. I'm looking at you right now. I've never killed a lion. And I have a medium dick with girth. Okay? Never killed a fucking lion. Totally comfortable with it.
See, that's
so
why
don't fucking kill lions to make you feel better about your dick.
That's why people come to Grand Theft Audio to get the truth. Medium length with girth.
I do. I have a medium dick.
I'm very excited for
With
all your wife out there. I'm very excited for all your wife.
My wife will be the first to tell you it's just right.
It's medium.
It's
with girth.
just right.
All right. Okay. Speaking of just right, how about Lamar Odom's night at the brothel?
Oh my goodness. Listen. I'm not sure what is rock bottom for him. Okay, now follow me. Is it overdosing on drugs during a horror orgy at a bunny ranch.
Now that's got to be pretty high. That's got to be pretty high on the list of rock bottoms.
This is definitely,
yeah.
It has a very nice stride in this race. But
and everybody knows you can't get your dick hard. You're taking herbal Viagra that entire time to make this happen.
Right.
So you need that to get hard.
Right.
So,
and also,
we all know that now.
Crack doesn't make you hard. It does give you diarrhea. That's a fact. And so
I did not know that.
I smoked it once by accident, and I can tell you it gives you explosive diarrhea. So
I feel lucky I've never smoked anything by accident. That sounds terrible.
The best is that I remember it was passed to me, and I was like, it smells like burnt, like plastic. It smells like somebody lit a porn star on fire.
Yeah.
And my friend was like, yo, there's that Reddy's on that, son. And I was like, there's that what on it, son? Hold on, let me hit this again.
Reddy's?
I was like, how can you do this? I can't believe that you would put crack in some weed I was smoking. Whoa! So what is rock bottom, right?
Yes.
This is chicken or the egg,
yes.
right? What's rock bottom? You overdose on drugs while in a horror orgy at a bunny ranch in Nevada. Or after that happens, you call off your divorce to Khloe Shrek Kardashian.
Wait, did he call it off or did she call it off?
She called it off. I'm just saying, what is his rock bottom moment, guys? What is the rock bottom moment? Is it the overdose or is it Shrek showing up and saying, no,
she's
Lamar,
gross.
listen, Lamar,
man.
we're staying married. You can't get out of this, Lamar. Okay. Especially now that you're fucking half brain dead.
So she was like the host of some Simon Cowell piece of shit show. I don't even remember what it is. But she has the worst looking mouth in television.
Well, no,
I would have to like put my thumb up in front of the screen and be like, I would block her mouth so I could watch the show because it made me want to kill myself. It was a soul of.
Do you want to know my real theory
sadness.
about Khloe Kardashian?
Sure.
And it's also come up in the news. But I know some people claim that she might be O.J. Simpson's real kid. But people need to remember that Kris Jenner is a horrible slut. Right?
Yeah.
She's a horrible...
And you can't get pregnant from anal sex.
Horrible person.
And OJ fucked her in the ass.
Rob Kardashian, the father, which it's so funny that sometimes we'll say that the only respectable person of the Kardashian clan is the dead one, right? Is he respectable? No. He helped his best friend O.J. Simpson get away with murder. As a matter of fact, helped him hide things, helped him dispose of the suit, I believe.
Sure.
They were best friends. They were together all the time. There is no way that OJ did not splooge his juice, for lack of a better term, into that whore, okay, and make that fucking Kardashian. That's my opinion, okay?
So does OJ then get more credit for not having to use pills like OJ did? Like Cosby
I would
did?
just say that it just is tantamount to winning the case that Khloe Kardashian might be the worst Kardashian, if only because she was spawned by a dirty, disgusting murderer.
Sure.
And having watched their show, her personality is like a bag of bricks and shit being thrown at you.
Well, that was your first problem. You've watched the show.
Yeah.
There's some things like ignorance.
I said, you know what?
Education.
Let me get to know these people on a human level because I'm a very empathic person. And so I'm acting sort of cool right now. I'm sort of going with the spirit of Grand Theft Audio. And I like that. I'm tapping into sort of young Rus Gutin right now.
I can dig it.
But in my older life, I'm much more empathic and sensitive. So I did try to watch it to try to see if I can identify with them on a human level. And it turns out I couldn't.
Okay, so next subject, Bruce. And what's her name? Caitlyn Jenner.
Okay. Yeah, I don't, listen, I'm just excited to see, I say this in my new shit, but I am excited to see what Kendall transitions to later in life. It just makes me excited for the future. You know what I mean?
There's got to be, okay, man, you're probably tapped into something. There's going to be some terrible thing that those kids decide to do to try to up their dad's
right.
very public throwing of the gauntlet of weirdness.
Yeah, and also apparently again, now he's gone back on it. He wants to be Bruce again.
Okay, so that's what I've heard, man.
And he was,
that's so crazy.
And all this other stuff. Like I said, the story didn't have the legs that they thought it would, so now they're trying.
And she doesn't either. So is sad that she isn't some sexy lady that everybody wants to bone and shit.
It's always good to have a bulge as big as your Adam's apple. It's just always a good idea.
Sure, man. But I think it's hilarious that like it's gonna be so brave.
I mean, I'm not into the homophobic like reaction to
but he's
it.
Not.
Like,
But he's not
to
homo.
Each their own.
But he's not homo.
That's what I'm
he
saying.
likes
To
ladies.
each their own. I'm just saying that he just tried to make him. He literally was like, "Aren't I such a hero?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's what pissed me off. Like, you're not a hero because you're pointing it out that what you're doing is brave.
Okay, we got 90 seconds for our last news story before we come back and talk about you
Let's
and what
go.
we're really here for.
Let's go.
The presidential election. What do you think of the idea of like Trump being the president of America?
I think that it is the only way for Mike Judge's idiocracy to really completely start coming true. Yeah,
I think
like
it is.
I was gonna say, because we're pretty much there. We have things like son of a baconator, which is equivalent to Carl's Jr. Go
Sure,
fuck yourself.
sure.
So I feel like Trump being president is just like the next step in Mike Judge being the Nostradamus of our time.
I really think they've added something to our water now to make it so like our plants don't want it as much. Because after it rains, I'm not kidding, man. After it rains out here, LA turns green so fucking quick. And then, but if you actually tried to do that with like the water that comes out of the hose, it just kind of lays there yellow.
Right, we've given the plants the towel to throw in.
Yeah, that's right, man. Like it's got electrolytes, which is of course what plants crave. On that note, I think we're going to go to our second break of the show.
Okay, cool.
We're going to come back on the next side, and we're going to talk about your new DVD, Rus
Yes.
Gutin, Legal Guardian.
Legal Guardian.
And maybe get into a clip of that and a little
Sounds
bit more
good.
about your adventures there. So
Awesome.
Come on back on the other side, guys.
I like that we did that first.
If the fish swam out of the ocean and grew legs and they started walking, and the apes climbed down from the
Hey geeks, wake up! We got big news. I'm not gonna mumble this time. Geekscape, the long-running movie video game. Let me do one more. Hey geeks, we got big news! Geekscape, your favorite show about movies, video games, comics, and TV, is coming to T-Radio V Monday, October 6th. And it'll be on every Monday from then on, 7 p.m. Until the apocalypse happens, we're all eaten by zombies.
Hey, my fellow thoughters out there. I'm Charles Shaughnessy. Check out my new show, Here's a Thought, with Charles Shaughnessy, August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T-Radio V. Now, you know I have a lot to say, but I want to hear what you have to say. So tune in, grab your phones, call me, tweet me, email me in the studio, and let's get this conversation going. Here's a Thought, starting August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T-Radio V. That's radio in TV.
Hi, I'm Bob Nalbandian, and be sure to watch my show Inside Metal, which airs live every Tuesday from 3 to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on T-Radio V. I'm going to be bringing in the greatest heavy metal artists live right here in the studio. Once again, every week at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, every Tuesday, right here at TRadiov.com, radio in TV.
All right, party people. We're back here on Grand Theft Audio Radio. This is Jake Belcher. I'm back in the studio with
Papa Rus Gutin. That's me.
And, I got to know Russ originally because of his stand-up, and we've had some great adventures together. But stand-up is really what you're all about. Like, you're out here to do some big shows. You got some crazy news right before we went on the air here, man.
Yeah, really cool. I'm doing shows all week. We'll talk about them. But, I... right before I moved from LA, I finally got a gig at the Improv with Comedy Juice through Adam Ray, who introduced me to Mark Saratella. And I ended up hosting a bunch of those shows. And then it was like really cool shows like Dane Cook, Dana Gould, all these amazing comics were on the show, and here I was holding my own and hosting it and whatever. And then right as I finally, after all these years, was sort of finally getting in with like the cool kids, I moved home very suddenly because, as you know, my grandfather passed away, the leader of my family, and my son was 6 months, and we decided to just keep him there, make everybody happy, and, you know, and I can work out of New York. So when I moved to New York, they had just started an East Coast Comedy Juice at Gotham, and it wasn't going great. And so they're like, Russell, you're there, you run it, you do it. So I dedicated the first 2 years that I was in New York to building that show and to building the other one that we had for about a year at Levity, which is another club out in that area. And finally, I was ready to sort of move on from show running because, you know, I ran a show at the Comedy Store for a long time, and then...
And you're great at running shows, but in some ways you can only get so far if you're running the shows.
Right. It just becomes... It
That's
becomes
the
a
job
wall.
then, you know? Yeah.
And the last thing you're worrying about is your stand-up, your set, what you need for your career. And so I have to say, Comedy Juice, when I told them that I was kind of ready to move on and, you know, I kind of want to do an album and I want to maybe have another kid. I'm not sure. But we weren't sure. We were still kicking it around. And not only did they let me do it, they let me pick my replacement. And they're like, obviously, you can just tell us your schedule. You can appear when, you know. So I have to say, they've been amazing. So I'm sort of guaranteed to appear on the LA one whenever I'm here, or at least once or twice a year, because it's not a lot to, you know, and they love me. So I knew I was going to be on the one this time. It was originally supposed to be right now, tonight on Wednesday. It's always at Wednesday at 10 at the Hollywood Improv. But this week it's on Thursday because of the World Series. And usually the blue-collar level comic like me, I'm not in the tweets or the ticket stub, you know, the laugh stub profile or whatever, right? So I saw I was in the tweet, and I was like, oh, they're throwing me a bone. That's really nice of them. Everybody's being so generous this week, you know, because I had the baby. And then I looked at it, and you were right there, and I go, oh, fuck.
Yeah, man, you turned white.
Like, and Comedy Juice always has big stars.
Sure.
But the one in L.A. is just unbelievable. And I
It's
looked
a different
at it.
level of people in LA.
So Jake,
yeah.
tomorrow night, and
Yeah.
I'll offer this to your listeners too. If they email me at whatchamacallit, if you message me on Twitter, or if you message Jake here at the Grand Theft Audio, or on Twitter,
through any of my social
through
profiles,
any of his social
any way
media,
you know to get hold
if
of
you
me.
ask to be on the guest list tomorrow night, there's a few rules. So he'll send you the disclaimers and the rules about the guest list. But tomorrow night, Thursday, October 29th at the Hollywood Improv, the lineup is Joe Rogan, Dane Cook, Judd Apatow, the new SNL cast member John Radoninsky, and ... somehow Rus Gutin.
Holy shit, they got Rus Gutin?
And Andy Kozel and a bunch of other cool people. But
Dude, that's a crazy
and I'm not
lineup.
hosting it.
Yeah.
Like
you're
usually I'm the opener, but I'm actually after the opener. And then there'll be famous people. But
badass.
It's at 10 o'clock. It's the greatest show in the world. And I have to say, like, you were there. I mean, they put me in the tweet and the ticket thing. And it's just, you know, that's overwhelming. And here's the thing. I've been doing this 16 years. And the whole thing about comedy and comedians now, millennials, is this disaffected, cynical fucking thing. And I think you know this at the Comedy Store. It took me a while for everybody to sort of realize that this wasn't a put on.
Oh, it was a battle. There's no doubt.
Like, this wasn't a put on. Like, I come from a theater background as well. So when I walk into the space, when I'm here to do a show, I'm the happiest fucking kid in the world. I'm like, all right, guys, we're going to have a great show. Oh, I love that joke of yours. Let's go. And they're like, who's this fucking guy? What does he want? Why would he be this way? But I'm never going to not get excited about seeing that.
Sure. And as well, you
that's
shouldn't. That's
Rocco's
incredible.
dad up there, man.
Yeah.
That's Rocco's dad on that lineup. Now,
It's like one of those
am I
things like-
fucking scared? Yeah,
It's
a
like
little
one of those things
bit.
like, can you frame a tweet? Can you like get it all
Yeah,
printed
you
out
can,
really
somebody's
nice?
going to
and-
have to show me how to do screenshots, you know, because I'm an analog man in a digital
Sure.
world. You know, I've been doing this so long that I used to sell VHS tapes out of a backpack, you know.
Well, you're right. You have gone digital. Now people can get
Yeah.
this
Isn't that
electronically.
amazing that I used to sell VHS tapes
Yeah.
of my stuff, and now you can download Legal Guardian at rusgutin.vhx.tv onto your phone, or you can download it Google Play, iTunes, all that stuff. I think that's amazing. And that's not even a plug. I just find it amazing.
It is dope, man. Hey, before we run out of time on this show and this segment, I want to play like a clip from this.
Oh, that'd be great. Whichever one you like.
All right, man. So we're gonna have this take us into like a commercial break, and
okay. And then after the break, I would love to give a shout out to the people that helped make this wonderful.
For sure, man. For sure. Yeah, because I need to learn more about what you got going on with the New York Comedy Club.
Oh yeah,
you told me, but people should hear.
And that's where we taped it. So enjoy the clip.
Dig it, man. So enjoy this clip.
Chelsea lately. You've never seen him on Comedy Central. My dear friend, the very funny, let's bring in Rus Gutin. Rus
Gentlemen, studio audience, New York Comedy Club, Comedy Records, live taping. As the man said, I'm your Papa Rus Gutin, a Jew. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. My wife's Italian, though, so we have a little pizza bagel baby boy. He's 3 years old, Rocco Giovanni Gutin. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. So the only thing Jewish about him, of course, is his last name and his circumcised penis. Thank you so much, ladies. You know what I'm talking about. I could tell. Thank you. All right, but listen, kids, okay? When your Papa Rus agreed, though, to have this pizza bagel baby boy with my Guinea Catholic Italian wife, okay? All right? I assumed, miss, that the kid would come out looking like us, or looking like me, right? I'm a little Jew hobbit, right? Who looks like Jimmy Neutron with this haircut, right? I got dark hair, dark eyes, right? My wife's Italian, miss, Napolitan. She's got dark skin, dark thick hair, right? So we thought the kid was gonna come out looking like Juan Epstein from Welcome Back, Kotter, for any of the old fucks out there, no? Okay, or the dude Drake, or the dude from LMFAO, for any of you young pieces of shit. Sitting right here and there and here. I see, I was young once, you young pieces of shit. Thank you, okay? But listen, miss, he did not come out looking like us. Or looking like me, okay? Because check this out. He came out blonde-haired, blue-eyed. Fucking Nazi Aryan master race. Who would have guessed that shit, right? He looks like the villain in every 80s surf movie. He looks like Johnny in the original Karate Kid, you know what I mean? He looks a lot like you, sir, now that I mention it. Where were you Christmas 2011? Were you in Los Angeles, you motherfucker? Right? But here's the problem, kids, okay, all right? Is that I don't look like a dad, exactly, right? My kid doesn't look like me. So now whenever I go to the Target without my wife, everybody's got a fucking Amber Alert expression on their face. You know, and I don't blame them, sir, but everyone is very curious where I obtained this beautiful Aryan baby that looks just like you, and I don't blame them. Thank you. They think I am his cool uncle or his legal guardian at best. That is best case scenario for me.
What it do? Is your man Money B from Digital Underground asking everybody to check out the Going Way Back show, your home for classic hip-hop, raw and uncut. Join me
and me, DJ Always,
as well as Ty Teasy, bringing you the old school new news every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here
on T Radio V.
That's right, Radio in TV.
Radio V.
And it's Mary Carey, of course, politically naughty with Mary Carey.
I'm always naughty. I'm always politically. My behavior is always politically
naughty.
I'm never politically correct.
Dr.
Drew, hi. Oh, I'm so.
Hey guys, how are you?
It's all teary-eyed, Doctor.
I know. She wished she could live at rehab.
But only if Dr. Drew's there. Obviously,
Sure.
if someone like, you know, because a little too groping might be inappropriate. But I like the flirting and stuff.
When I
don't
walked in,
know.
you shoved my head in your.
No! Are you gonna sue me?
Get politically naughty with Mary Carey. Mondays at 4 p.m. on T Radio V.
Andy D on T Radio V. Bing, bang, bing, boom, right?
Yeah.
Andy D on T Radio V. Bobbity, bibbity, bobbity, boo. Andy D on T Radio V.
The Andy Dick Show, Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on T Radio V.
Wow!
But
Paul-
we'll do it. We'll do it better when the show actually starts.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This your boy Crazy Bone.
Man, I'm the bum Keith G, man.
And whenever you sitting at home and can't shake the monkey off your back,
Yeah.
then just know every Wednesday from 7 to 9
That's
p.m.
right.
you can tune in to the Quick Fix and get your fix on, man.
Right here on TRadioV.com, baby.
Radio and TV.
Dawg, how they gonna see us on the radio then?
Radio, I don't know. Or is it TV and radio?
But it's
one of them.
I gotta figure this radio and TV thing out though, bro. I don't understand. I'm gonna tell my mom how she gonna see
Get
us.
it together.
Dig it, man. All right, we're back here on Grand Theft Audio Radio on T Radio V. This is Jake Belcher.
And this is Papa Rus Gutin, co-host for the day of Grand Theft Audio.
Thank you so much for being here, man.
Thank
and
you.
Thanks for giving me an advance copy to watch this whole thing. It's funny from beginning till end. Great set, great special.
Thank you, man.
Cool venue too.
Yeah, no, New York Comedy Club is so cool. It was actually the second place I ever did a real set when I was 19 in 1999.
Crazy.
And even then, it was sort of already. It was like the end of its sort of golden era, and then in the early 2000s, even it was already becoming a relic, like falling apart. And my manager Emilio, who saw me at Gotham through a friend, but then sort of said, "Look, I don't have any clients, but I want to work with you." And
Interesting.
He ended up buying New York Comedy Club around that same time. And him and his partner Scott have absolutely reinvented the place, not just from the lineups alone, from turning it to a bygone place with bygone people to the hippest lineups, the hippest shows, but really allowed me to record my album, got me on Comedy Records, gave me a venue, gave me a platform, gave me stage time every week to work on it 15 minutes at a time. Whenever I go there, I get to close, I get to do a long set. They have my picture on the wall. I have to say, it's just a really amazing thing. So a special shout out to Emilio Savone, who I've never really had a manager. So I just, his belief in me and what he's done for me in the last year and a half is just unbelievable. So if you're in New York, get to New York Comedy Club. I'll be there every Tuesday in December at 8 on top of other dates, but I'll be there definitely every Tuesday in December, most of them in November. And just, it's on 24th and 2nd, and say Russ sent you and they'll let you in for free.
Badass, man. Hey, before we get out of here, I want to touch on the other area that you are an expert in, and that is like your special here, Rus Gutin, Legal Guardian. You see me like the Guardian on there because it's kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, of course. It's absolutely Guardians of the Galaxy. That movie just took a hold of me. I was
okay, but I'm not surprised because all these pop culture, science fiction movie things, like you are down with all of them, man.
Thank you.
Like
Yeah.
you are totally into
You
them.
are very astute, and I know you notice like my Instagram always has very much a movie sci-fi
Sure.
theme and everything. All my advertisements do. Obviously, I was really sick as a kid, and I was also emotionally sort of distraught as a kid because my house burnt down and I had a blood disease, so I was in the hospital a lot. So all of those things, Captain America, The Avengers, Batman, Lord of the Rings, you name it, movies, television, those things were my friends in a lot of ways. They were my way outside. They were my way to have great adventures of which I was not physically able to get to. And also, I was just not a bad kid, but a kid who just couldn't control his emotions in those early years. So those movies, those characters, this Marvel universe that's been created, for example, I know people like it. I know people are fans of it, but when I see Captain America, I see my friend. And so I just love that I'm living in the golden age.
Sure, it's never been better.
Never, ever. In my whole life. Could you have told me that there was going to be a fucking movie where Deadpool was going to be slicing up shit with Colossus behind? I mean, even characters like Deadpool are getting movies now.
know.
These are characters that even nerds have never even heard of Deadpool. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like a comic books reader's favorite character because he's the only one who's aware that he's in a comic book and he's getting a movie. So the fact that I could share all of those things with my son, I mean, he doesn't know a crucifix from a Star of David as far as my wife being Italian and me being Jewish, but he knows every symbol and he can tell you who they are, what their identity is. He knows that Bruce Banner and Tony Stark are science bros and they do science together. Like, sharing that and that or whatever, I would say movies and science fiction and comic books and Lord of the Rings and all that. I would say that's my religion first and foremost.
Are you this excited for like the new Star Wars?
Dude, I was shaking and crying like a fucking I couldn't even fucking.
You're almost spazzing out on it right now a little bit.
I couldn't even fucking take it. It was just like the greatest thing. And you know what? J.J. Abrams is just the best. Like those Star Trek movies are just so awesome. He totally turned it on its ear.
I can't watch them, man. I still hate Star Trek. I'm still in that whole idea that like either you like Star Trek or you like Star Wars.
Oh,
and
that's ridiculous.
I'm
There's
Star Wars.
One is a philosophical, not the J.J. Abrams.
Maybe
version
I don't
as
like
much,
the
but
philosophical stuff.
one
Maybe
is a
I want
philosophical-
lightsabers and like badass looking villains. And
Well, yeah, and you know, Patrick Stewart, like, actually in Nemesis sort of explains what Gene Roddenberry's vision of the future was, which was we were a society who had moved past the need for monetary gain and all of those things, and we came together as a people to create all of this technology.
Yeah, how those people get paychecks out there in space?
Right, but it just doesn't. Money is not, and it is
That's
not
a weird idea.
whatever. And so I like that element of Star Trek, and I like the you know, the swashbuckling serial adventure nature of Star Wars. Han Solo is my spirit animal. I try to, whenever I dress like this,
sure.
I'm trying to think, do I look like Han Solo?
You are kind of. It is a Han Solo Blade Runner combo.
Well, yeah,
type
right.
thing.
Darren and I call this the El Mariachi.
Sure, I can see it.
And-
If you had a guitar case, I'd be scared to death.
Right, and also it kind of looks like I came here on a motorcycle, but I'm too small. I can't even wrap my legs around
Dude,
a real motorcycle.
You know how
so-
often I get asked, "Is that your bike outside?"
Yeah.
Is that your bike outside? Because I always have the bandana on. I always get, "Is that your bike outside?"
Is that your bike outside? What
Yeah.
you riding? Is that all aftermarket or did you do a custom?
Dude, what a weird little world that is.
Oh,
Okay, what do
man.
you think of the idea that Luke Skywalker is not, quote unquote, in the poster for the new Star Wars movies?
Luke Skywalker is Kylo Ren. Russ
She
Gutin
has to
told
be.
you first. Russ Gutin told you first. Also, you know how I know he's Kylo Ren? Is that the only figure I could find of it when I went to Target was the vinyl Funko Pop of it. And so I literally said to myself at that point, I said, this character is so cool. It's just, you know, J.J. Abrams always has a trick up his sleeve.
I picked up a Finn in Stormtrooper of those vinyl Funkos.
I have the Oscar Isaac action figure. Oh,
cool, man.
Quick funny story about that. One of my relatives met and became friendly with him for a night, and they sort of hung out, and they did all the, or whatever. But
Became
then,
friendly for a night,
right?
yes.
Like they were hanging out or whatever.
Okay.
And my relative is a very, important person, and then he tried to contact him, and he hadn't heard back from him, right? And so I was talking about the new Star Wars, and he goes, "Yeah, I texted him and never heard back from him." I was like, "Oh, did Oscar break your heart?"
Oh.
I was like, "Oh, boo-hoo," right? But then I got home from dinner and I had his action figure sitting on my shelf, so I took pictures, like all these different angles of him, and I kept texting him like, "Hey, Bear, thinking of you."
Hilarious. Hey, we're running out of time here. Okay, so I'm not going to have time to get into it right now, but I wanted to talk to you, and you're going to have to learn what this is about what Batman v Superman.
You'll tell me about that theory, but before we go, guys, this Sunday, a special episode of Grand Theft Audio will be streaming live from the Pikey on Sunset in LA with me, Michael Costa, Maddie Goldberg, Luke Curry, and an awesome music act, Henry Henrietta, who has Bill English in it, who's a great actor and a great friend of me and Luke. So
Effing badass. Come check it
go
out.
to that
You'll
show.
see links on the page and stuff. Okay, we have 30 seconds left. Where do people find you?
You can find me at rusgutin.com, Rus Gutin, or at Rus Gutin on Twitter and Instagram, or you can download Legal Guardian on iTunes. It's on Comedy Records, or you can download Legal Guardian the movie at rusgutin.vhx.tv for just $2.
$2. So good deals all around. Thank you so much for being here. This is Jake Belcher. You've been watching Grand Theft Audio. You can watch us here on T-Radio TV Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Thank you for coming in.
L'chaim, the dude abides.
You guys have a good one. Bye. 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 Bye.
You are watching T-Radio V. Radio and TV.